All right, math scholars, let's go ahead and jump into example 2 on graphing a system of inequalities. So this system is y is greater than x minus 2 and y is less than 1/3 x minus 3. So we'll start the same way. I'm going to label this grid for us so that we have a nice high quality graph. Y-axis, x-axis, number my axes with a scale. This one is uniform because I'm counting by ones. And then the next thing is I'm going to mark each of those equations so I know whether I'm drawing a dotted line or a solid line. And I'm also going to color code. So first equation is a greater than without the equal to. So that's a dashed line. The second equation is a less than without an equal to. So that one is also going to be a dashed line. I'm going to start with the first inequality. Our y-intercept is -2 and our slope is +1. We start with that y-intercept, so a dot at -2. We should label that. I think I got a little lazy with that in our last graph. And then we're going to use the slope to find our second point. So we're going to go up 1 and then forward 1. So our point is here. And then I'm going to grab a ruler and connect those dots. I'm going to pause so you don't have to watch that. I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, you can see my dotted line here. I am going to label that line with the inequality. So y greater than x minus 2. And then I need to decide which way to shade. And I'm going to, instead of using the test point, I'm going to use a shortcut. And I would encourage you to check me by using the test point method. So when I see a greater than, y is greater than, when I see greater than, that tells me to shade upwards. When I see less than, that tells me to shade downwards. This is a greater than, so I want to shade up from the line. So I'm going to grab my colored highlighter and I'm going to shade everything above the line. Okay, halfway done. Now we need to repeat the process. So let's go ahead and grab our blue pen and start working on that second inequality. Second inequality, our y-intercept is -3 and our slope is 1/3. So I'm going to start with the -3, blue dot down here. I'm going to label that 0, -3. Next thing I'm going to do, mark my slope triangle. So I need to go up 1 and forward 3. So that's going to put us here. Next thing I'm going to do is grab my ruler and draw my line. So you can see my dotted line through those 2 points. I'm going to go ahead and put arrows at the end and label that second boundary line. Y is less than 1/3 x minus 3. And then again, I need to shade. In this case, this is a less than statement. Y is less than 1/3. So I'm going to shade this area below the line. So for this graph, again, we see 4 regions. We see a tiny wedge here that's not shaded where both inequalities will be false. We see a very clearly red region where just the red inequality will be true. A blue wedge where just the blue inequality will be true. And then this tiny little purple wedge down at the bottom where both will be true. So I'm going to label that tiny little section our solution. And again, I would encourage you to check with the test point method and make sure that that method that I gave you, the shortcut method, actually works. If you have questions, let me know. The solutions to the next page will be posted on Google Classroom, and if you have any questions on what you see, feel free to email me or drop by my classroom. All right, have a great rest of your day.